I mean, there's a lot of logistics going on. You and I just talked about it over the last half hour. So to bring you all up to speed, within the last hour and a half or so, the students here at Wootton High School were released. Of course, we first saw sort of the fleet of buses that were going out on their routes. We were told the students who ride buses on the normal routes home. And now comes the portion of those students who are usually pickups or those who walk home. They are being taken over to Robert Frost Middle School. And I'm going to step over in this direction to point out, you can still see the cacophony of lights happening off in the distance here. You know, the police emergency lights mixed with the bus lights as students are being taken out of Wootton High School and brought onto buses to be taken to Robert Frost Middle School. That is the reunification point for parents and for students. Now, at the same time, all along Thomas Wootton Parkway, you can see, it's hard to see from here, but like off in the distance, both directions and behind us as well, you've got long backups of cars making their way to Robert Frost or making their way around the area. Here comes some more buses on their way out. Here you can see now every now and then with the police escort, and I'm going to just kind of pay attention here for a hot second. You have a police escort of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buses on their way out. So this may be those that are headed on their way to Robert Frost Middle School. This is kind of how everything has to be dealt with today. You know, all these students are being put on buses. They'll be taken just not far away. You can see these buses are packed with students inside, all looking out. You can only wonder what their day has been like. I mean, in terms of dealing with the frightening, the fear, not knowing what's going on, and then knowing when you'll be released from school to be reunited with your families. You can only just imagine kind of how their day has been and what that means for the rest of the week. You can see that was about 5, 6, 7 buses or so on their way through. Now, the investigation portion of this, what happened, right? That's the big question of what's going on. What we do know at this point, according to Montgomery County Police, is around 2:15 in the afternoon, shots rang out inside Wootton High School. One student was found in the hallway suffering from a gunshot wound. At the same time, police say when they got to the scene, they took that student to a nearby hospital in stable condition, still working to learn more about the injuries. We do know that police say that they have, we do know talking to police that they do have one person in custody, another student who shot that student allegedly. This is according to police, so we're working to learn more information about that, and a gun was recovered at the scene. Now, this evening, the biggest part of the sort of logistical issues that we've been dealing with for the last, I would say, hour or so is been trying to figure out when, since the release was about an hour and a half ago for students, how they would be reunited with their parents and when they would be sort of able to be released from the school. We're now starting to see that, but it is a heavy lift in terms of what this the reunification looks like. You just saw those 7 buses that came by. That's the second number of those we've seen come through this area. So it's a large, heavy lift to get all those students out of the classrooms here after the SWAT teams had gone through and checked every classroom, and then over to Robert Frost High School. Now, earlier when we got here, immediately within a couple minutes, there were many parents over here. We talked to one father who was dealing with what he said was just a very difficult situation. We wanted to give you an idea of just what it was like for those parents in those first moments as they learned about what was happening in their school. Take a listen. You said he's just there in the dark in the classroom right
Yeah,
now?
all the hallway light. He said that he actually keeps texting I shouldn't say that, but he's scared.
Yeah.
And he said that all the lights are off, the classroom off, the teacher, and he's in the closet with some of the friends inside the classroom, and everything's locked down. And this is crazy. I'm lucky that I get text from my son here, so I know he's okay. It sounds like I talked to mom. She hasn't heard anything, and this is crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane. It shouldn't happen there, especially in this country. You shouldn't have this kind of stuff.
Lucky that I can text my son. That was really what we heard from that father that just kind of stuck right inside of me today, was that, that was how they were getting their information. Now, all those buses you just saw coming through my shot, they're now headed over to Robert Frost Middle School. That's what we're being told, and I'm going to send it back to you in the studio. But for now, out in the scene, I'm Matt Gregory, WSA 9 in Rockville. Back to you guys.
This could take a while.